of course, you also have the pantry and lounge IC to ensure that everything is smooth sailing for her. So I feel like a block com is also very important. It's like the core of the whole entire block as well. Yeah.
Sorry, can I rephrase my question a bit? Because I wasn't expecting such a long answer. You're just more like point form, like what activities you're supposed to carry out, and like, you know, like what is supposed to be in their work plan. Like just point form short one. Like as in, for example, plan block events, provide food during the block events. You know, like point form, not like gel the people together, that kind of thing.
So you want concrete examples?
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 sentences. Go. So like just like activities that the block head should carry out. So it's very like functional, like the functional thing.
Yeah, functional stuff.
When Yaksham, you want to address the question?
So yeah, I can just interpret this question because this question I think is fair. Like honestly, for example, I give you budget. You want however the block head wants to spend the budget, however you want to do the supper, or even the supper exceeds the first place amount. I think that's you should be looking at what you should do, but instead you should be looking at pointers like what kind of KPI you want to make sure that the block functions well.
Okay. Let me clarify again. The answer that I'm looking for is in the block supper, fiesta, what else? Welfare pack. No, that kind of thing. It's not exactly like what you want to do in each block supper, that kind. Because I just want to find out whether you all have found out what exactly is the block com's responsibilities. Like fiesta, 1 booth, 2 booth. When the host want to give out shirts, is it block com's responsibility? That kind of thing. So I don't think it's a very hard question.
Okay, so since you answered the question already, then we'll move on to the next question. But thank you for the question, Gwen. Thank you. Imran, you have a question, right? But thanks for the question, Gwen.
Hi, Imran. My question is not for the SADs.
Thank you.
But it's for the PAD. So you mentioned about you want to have greater publicity for performing arts events in your speech. So do you have any, I think you like briefly mentioned a few of your plans to boost the publicity. So like I just want to ask, like, do you have a more concrete example or plans to boost the publicity of such events, and how can you encourage greater participation amongst Yusofians?
Okay, I can't say that all my plans are concrete yet because like I kind of just decided to run for this position like last week lah. But okay, I think the concrete stuff that I'm talking about is like the blasting of events lah, on like with other clubs and stuff like in NUS, and the more concrete one is the showcasing for DU lah. Okay, but when you talk about encouraging greater participation, okay, so I think it goes both like 2 ways. So to performers and supporters. So okay, so for performers wise, right, I think in order to encourage greater participation, so performers, like, because some people, right, they are very talented, but they don't think that it's important to even join these cultural CCAs. So I think it's important to create legitimacy, though. So like, how do I say this? I would join band with the knowledge that I will improve in band, or I will have platforms to improve in band, you know, that kind of thing. So for example, what I like about choir, right, is that they just recently added an instructor. So that's how you encourage people to participate, because they're like, hey, like, I'm not just like being like, I mean, like, seniors teaching juniors is very effective, but there are also more people, like people externally, who can really bring a lot more to the whole scene lah. Yeah, and yeah, okay, then for supporters, right, I think we have to change the mindset lah, like make them see it as something worth going for. So for example, like, okay, this may not be very realistic for next year lah, but maybe in the future years, but pushing for better venues, or not for like DP to like, I mean like, okay, DP was an exception because it was the 60th, right? So MediaCorp was like something that they saw as like very necessary lah. But I mean like for like the following years, starting from next year, like not just DP, I'm talking about like more cultural night, like see better venues lah coming along, like okay, I know Shears like really go like full out lah, like they got like venues in RWS, but I feel like that's something we should strive towards. So like when that happens, right, like supporters will be like, hey, like I want to go and see how they even get this big venue, they must be damn good lah, you know, that kind of thing. And like Rockfest is a very like good example, like they are damn good lah actually, but it's just like people don't really like that's where the publicity part comes in also lah. So publicity plus participation lah, I feel, yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Amor. Thank you, Imran. Leanne wants to readdress Gwen's question. So, Leanne, please.
So I'm kind of understanding where you're coming from. So I feel that you're asking where to draw the line when it is block-related stuff and when it is not block-related stuff. No? Okay, no. Okay, so what? Okay, wait. Let me phrase that in a better way. Like, okay, for instance, you say like to give out all the shirts and whatnot. Okay, I think it is a lot about how different comms want their certain like let's say like if supporters pack, how they want to distribute the supporters pack, etc. So I think that the easiest way and the most effective way is definitely through the blogs and the blog com, because you have access, you know where the residents stay and etc. So basic things like this, like distributing shirts and stuff, it should be under the blog heads, okay, and the blog com. And like etc. you say blog supper, because you have the money to decide what you want to do with it. If you want to plan like a chalet or whatnot, it is up to the blog and the blog com's decision to decide what you want to do with the money. So and for Fiesta, okay, let's say if you want one booth, okay, let's say your think one booth is too much and too taxing for the blog heads, then it is where you all will raise your concerns to the SAD, and that's where we will help to fight for what is suitable, for what is reasonable in that sense. So let's say we can have like two blocks coming together to set up one store instead of every block come out with one store. So does that kind of answer your question?
I think there's a misunderstanding. I think from Gwen's point of view, what she wants is just to know whether you all know what .com does not. It's nothing to do with the workload and stuff like that. She's
Okay.
more of, yeah. So, am I right, Gwen?
Can I then like reply to your that response? Because if you say that blog giving out shirts and everything is under the blog com's responsibility, right? Then do you think a blog com should always be ready and available for every com to distribute whatever they want to distribute up to the hall? And if that's the case, right, then do their points justify the workload?
Okay, that's a reasonable question.
Okay, basically, I feel that you join a committee, okay, it is, you get a certain set of points, okay, so what I feel that you have basic responsibilities that you are and you need to do, which deserves your points. But you shouldn't do something in a sense that you think that if you do more, you should get more points, in a sense. You should, I feel that you should do it because you want to do it, because you want to serve the block. But let's say if the person really wants to justify for the amount of points that they get, in a sense, okay.
Like in a sense, I think like there's also, in a sense, like in that way, right, you can also fight that like there are certain committees that maybe they have done more, but they don't get as much points. Why certain committees do less, but they get more points? I think like if you have decided to join a committee, it's really because you have the heart to do it. And especially if you're a blockhead or a blockcom, you shouldn't be complaining about the points unless like kind of like you have maybe kind of done more or certain stuff. But I really feel that if you join a committee, it should really be out of your heart and not because of the amount of points that you want to get just to stay on for the second year. Yeah.
I think the main point here is the job scope should be properly communicated across that. So from the start, if they know, then this problem won't exist. So with that in mind, let's move on from this point to another question. Okay. But thank you for the question. Okay, no matter how controversial the question is, I encourage everyone to ask because this is the only platform you get to ask your question before the candidates get selected to that position. So feel free to ask. Okay. Next up, Christine.
I have a question for the Hongen Sec. So,
Finally.
so I also received this question when I was running, which was, as a freshie running for Hongen Sec in a committee whereby you have people people who are older than you, how are you going to assure that as a Hongen Sec, you must get them to submit everything on time, you must get the committees to submit everything on time. So how you as a younger person and not a senior to the rest of people in hall, assure that you can make them do that? And also, I want to re-ask the same conflict resolution theory, oh my god, sorry. Conflict resolution questions, how would you resolve any questions that might occur in your JCRC if there are strong personalities?
Okay, so thank you for asking me a question. So I did think of the point where I was like a freshie, and then the role of the Hongen Sec is just to plan the meetings and all that, but that would require them to actually listen to me in a sense. So like I did think of that, but I feel that as long as I do my job properly, and as long as I present myself properly, I hope that they will like still take me as equals, I guess. Like don't judge me based on my year, yeah, because I'll prove myself. So, yeah. So the conflict resolution part, I can answer, but I need more time to develop it.
Okay, we will come back to sorry. Okay, we will come back to the question later on. I'm sure you have a question. Zhi.
Hello. Okay, I have a question for Sandra. Okay, just now I heard your speech. You say you want to improve the efficiency of the finance system. So may I ask, do you have any concrete idea in mind already? Because personally, during my term, I have already tried my best to cut short the time delay between the communication with office and finance com. But still, until now, sometimes I still feel very sorry for committee heads and treasurers, as you know, the committees like SMC and HRB, their expenditure each time is always very huge, like more than 1K. And sometimes I have to owe the ribbons, Chevy, their committees a lot of money, but there's no way for me to resolve it. So I'm quite interested to know what's the idea inside your mind now. Thanks.
Thanks, Zhi. Sandra?
Okay, thanks for the question. Honestly, okay, I don't really have any concrete plans yet, but I feel that sometimes maybe it's the way we communicate to them, there's just information lost along the way lah. So I think we can work more on the interpersonal communication. So okay, I feel the best way is probably to approach them directly lah, instead of asking the finance members to go and reach out to the treasurers. Yeah, that's all.
Does it answer your question? Yes, okay. Can we have a question from this side of the room? A bit. Okay, never mind. Everyone wants to KS.
Hello. Okay, this question is to the VPs. So, do you all consider to run for presidency? If not, why? And the second question is, what do you think can be done for jail?
Okay, I've been waiting for very long to say. Finally, I get to speak. Okay, so what was the question? why did I not run for president? Okay, firstly, when you ask that question, I believe it means that you think I'm suitable to be your president. So I think that's a compliment. Thank you. Yeah. So honestly speaking, why I consider running for president, but I thought about if I were to become president, what would I want to? What kind of president do I want to be? So I believe like a president's role in a hall is he or she is mainly the okay now it's a he. His role in the hall is a face. It's a face of Yusuf to put it out there. So he's the one who communicates with OSA. He's the one who works with the other halls, work with hall office. And to be frank, I don't have the time next year because I'll just tell you my schedule next year. I'm going for I'm doing FYP for I'm going to intern, and that means during the working hours I may not be present. And you don't want to have a president where you don't even know his face. So that's mainly the reason why I didn't run for president. And if your next question is why I think I can still be a vice president, because I believe a vice president plays a lot of supporting roles, and yeah, and even with the schedule that I have, I believe I will still be able to support Matt or help him with his tasks as a president. And for this question, I leave it to Arun. I'll come to the next question in a while.
Okay, so for the first question, I did run last year. But for this year, the thing is, compared to last year, I decided very early on that I wanted to run, and after that, this year, the thought never came to my mind to run at all. So when like people started asking me why don't I run, I really felt it wasn't fair if I were to run and if I wasn't able to give back to the hall as much as a president should be able to. So in that sense, I didn't run because for someone to be president, to suddenly step up to go JCRC, they need to. I really feel it can't just be a snapshot decision. So for Matthew, it's different because he experienced the JCRC before. That's why he was an excellent candidate. So for myself, I didn't want it to be an impulse decision because I know that it wouldn't be fair to be the president of the hall just based on impulse.